And we've got more people. Okay. So let's dive in and talk to Dan in Canada. Dan, you are on
Hello.
Skeptic Generation. Hello, hello.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for calling in. First episode back. The fact that you caught that the stream was going on, that you wanted to talk, I love it. So thank you. It says in the comments that you are agnostic, that you are living in Canada, and that you're dealing with some shit. What's going on?
So, first of all, welcome back. I thought the show was dead, so this is amazing.
I needed the time to heal a bit and to rest and work on Eric off camera a bit. And I'm so happy to be back. So thank you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's important, man. Like, not enough people talk about taking time off, so
Yeah.
I'm glad you recovered enough to come back.
Appreciate it. The scary thing is talking to my other YouTube friends, when they talk to me about their burnout, my first response now is, you should stop doing it for a little while. So hopefully that doesn't lead
to breathing. It's like, try breathing for a second.
Well, it's difficult, man. It is super, super difficult when you're, in this need to create content like that. But anyway, I keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
No, it's good, man. It's a conversation. My question to you, I guess, a little bit for your backstory, because I don't know you well. But you were a religious person or not?
Oh yeah. I was a good Christian boy.
So then you probably struggled with the same dwelling long-term fear of hell.
Mm-hmm. I'm
guessing.
Absolutely.
My religious journey started Pentecostal, so fire and brimstone,
big
part of it.
Yeah, the hell you grew up with was intense.
Yeah. And, it's just been there since I'm a kid. So, like, I'm a 40-year-old adult human who's afraid of an end game scenario that I can rationally say probably isn't going to happen. And yet it still to this day affects me.
Yeah. Absolutely. So are you? Well,
I'm not even sure there isn't a God. I fall into the agnostic category, and I don't even know what I want an answer to be. I just am not convinced there isn't something.
Sure.
But
yeah. Okay. Well, can we play around with this a little bit?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, have you heard of Pascal's wager?
Yes.
Okay. So for people
who are down to, I could be right, so I might as well hedge my bet.
Kind of, yeah. When I was a Christian, we hated it. Because we said God isn't death insurance. But that was kind of what Pascal had said. So what Pascal did is he created a little graph, right? And in four corners, you had heaven and hell actually existing, not actually existing, believing and not believing. And so if you believe in heaven and hell exist, cool, you can go to heaven, avoid hell. If you believe in it doesn't exist, doesn't matter, because you just VoIP out of existence. If you don't believe and it doesn't exist, doesn't matter, VoIP out of existence. But if you don't believe and it does exist, you can go to hell. And so it sounds, using Pascal's wager, like the prudent thing to do is believe just in case, right? But the assumption there is that that's the only option. But that there are lots and lots of different versions of an afterlife. And most of them that I've seen are mutually exclusive. So even if you did believe and you were the best Christian, maybe you're going to go to maybe some other God question was the right one. You're going to get punished anyway. It's not four squares, it's infinite in as many different versions of. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, actually, South Park did an amazing example of that. And all these people arrive in hell, and it's like, but wait, I was a great insert religion here. And then the one guy comes to the front, yes, you are all in hell, you are all dead. The correct religion was
Mormonism, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And so when it comes to that, I think that contextualizing it in the realization that if there is a hell, if that was the case, it isn't necessarily because you were a bad person, and that isn't the most like philosophically sound, I guess, thing, but personally for me, that was something that I thought of that helped me. Another thing that I thought of is that I gave them enough time. I gave them enough of me, and they don't deserve any more. They don't get to have more of me. So Dr. Darrell Ray, who is the founder of Recovering from Religion, actually calls this it's a form of abuse, and you're a survivor of it. So am I, and so are a lot of the people watching. Being absolutely instilled with this fear is a trauma that we're working on healing from. And recognizing it as a trauma is really important, because I've talked to people who try and rationalize their way into shaming themselves to not feel bad. Shame is not a good reason to get through it. So if you're one of those people, or if anybody who's watching is trying to shame themselves out of fear of hell, it is just piling abuse on top of the trauma that you're already trying to recover from. So recognize it for what it is. It is recovery from trauma. And take your time with it and be compassionate with yourself, because way too many people, including me, I was not compassionate with myself, and I was frustrated with myself because that fear was still there, even if I had moved in so many other ways. But that's because I was trained into that. That is really, really difficult to let go of. And that's okay. You're not alone,
Yeah. It's frustrating because, on the one hand, conceptually, rationally, I'm in one place with religion. And yet, on the other hand, there's this lizard brain fear at the back of my head going, remember what they told you as a kid.
Yeah, absolutely. But then again, I don't know about you, but on a really dark night when I got to wake up and find my way to the kitchen to get a glass of water, and I'm walking through a dark house, I also remember scary movies. I also remember The Exorcist. And that fear is something that my lizard brain is doing. And, just recognizing, hey, that's your lizard brain. Well, I don't know, maybe categorizing it that way can help, because there are a lot of irrational things that people are afraid of, especially when it comes to, dark shapes in the night. But we recognize them for what they are. And this is a trauma that you're working through. And it's understandable. And a lot of us are still dealing with it, Yeah. I don't know. What's interesting is, in atheist spaces, people get really down on that whole fear of hell thing, but it feels like it's a part of that entire package that you're sold on when you're religious. People think, oh, why? I don't have the God belief anymore, so I'm all of a sudden somehow more able to discern right from wrong. When the fact is, it's a whole package. When it comes to leaving your religious belief, you're also potentially needing to look at your politics, your views on sex, on gender, your responsibility to your community, to yourself, to your family. And
It felt like a whole structure
it
of my
is.
person was just kind of removed.
It is. And I kind of want to call out that there are a lot of people in the atheist community who are still very much fundamentalist Christian in the way that they shame and like kick others out and will gatekeep in ways that they learned at church. But they're not putting that critical eye there, but they'll take that critical eye to a fear of hell. So it's frustrating, but as far as I'm concerned, you're kicking ass. Take the time, have some compassion for yourself, okay, Dan?
Yeah.
I wish I had more for you. I wish I
Thank
could
you.
take that from you, but it's just one of those things,
You've offered me a different perspective on it, and
Yeah,
that's a lot. So
good. Talking about it like this takes the teeth out a little bit too. So it's really awesome that you had the strength to call. So thank you.
well, I appreciate what you're doing here, and didn't want to see you go early. So
Thank you. I hope that you are in the evidence, and I hope to talk to you again. Take care, Dan.
take care.